Hey guys, this is Chad, and today I'm going to show you how to build an automated Google review responder. Customers today expect that brands recognize their hard work of leaving a review by acknowledging them, by responding to them. And no, canned responses that are generic and don't acknowledge their responses don't work. So we have to build a response that's customized to the customer's review. And we're going to show you how to do that automatically with ChatGPT. Here is an actual customer, the one that we build in this video, where we're going to show you step by step how to do this and the review that was generated by our system. Again, automatic, customized for that customer. You'll also get to see a detailed walkthrough of how this works in a platform called Active Pieces. We're going to show you again, step by step, exactly how to build this automation so that this piece of your business does not go missed. Let's dive in. Let's show customers how we get the job done. How to build an automated Google review responder. This responder is going to have a couple different pieces to it. It's going to actually, one, show us how to get the response, let the team know about the response, and let the team know the generated response, so if they want to go edit it, or they can review it for quality control. It's also going to make sure that customers get what they want. This study recently has shown that customers are more likely to respond or work with businesses that respond or reply to their reviews. Customers, with the advent of social media and where things are going as this has evolved, want to see that you're an engaged brand that's up to date with the newest trends. And so it's important that your brand does this. The problem is, for a lot of companies, it can be a lot to manage to make sure that this happens. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking an actual business. This is Breakthrough Automotive right here, based out of Yucaipa, California, and building them a automated review. Now, as you can see, they have Google reviews set up on their business page, which is great, and they're getting a ton of amazing reviews already, but we need to level up their responsiveness by making sure that they get this set up and ready to go. And so we're going to be using two different tools today. One is going to be Active Pieces, which is a Zapier alternative or a Make alternative, and then the other is going to be OpenAI's Custom Agent Builder. So to do this, first we're going to go into active flows. From here, we're going to click on New Flow and start from scratch. From there, we're going to make sure that we come in and select the trigger. Now, this is the event that's going to trigger the actual automation to run every single time. So we're going to come over here on the left-hand side, type in Google, and go to Google Business. From here, we're going to make sure to select a new review. We're going to verify the connection. To do this, you do a new connection. We're going to call this Breakthrough Auto. We're going to hit connect. We'll go to our account that has the correct information on it. We're going to let them have access to this, and then we're going to hit save. Here we're going to go in, grab the account, which would be the Google account that you signed into, and then we're going to go through Breakthrough Automotive and Tires. Now we're going to hit this load data button at the bottom of the screen. This is going to give us sample data so we can use it later in automation. So kind of breaking this down a little bit, this is the name of the actual review. This is going to be important later. We're going to see the comments. This is about what the actual person said. The review ID, we might need that. The display name, and then the profile URL. We don't have a ton of information on the reviewer, which is okay, but we can see all this right here from the result. We can also see other Google reviews that are here. And so with these Google reviews, we can kind of look and see different ones about how well they've responded to this. All right, so now that we have this trigger set up, we're going to just come on to the side here. I'm going to shrink this down a little bit. We don't need that to be so big. The next step is that we need to send this Google review to OpenAI. And so inside of Active Pieces, you can click in OpenAI. Now, I do recommend as your action that you ask the assistant. Asking ChatGPT is a little bit more analog, and it is a little cheaper potentially, but asking the assistant is a very simple way to build a really cool tool. And I'm actually going to show you how to set up the project and the API key right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into OpenAI. We're going to create a new project. Now, in order to do this, you will need to have a developer account on the platform. So you'll need to go to platform.openai.com, and you'll need to set up billing information. When you do this for the first time, you'll need to preload about $10 into your account. Don't worry, it takes quite a bit of usage to use up that $10. Then you're going to create a new project. From here, you're going to hit create, and now we have a project ID. So what we need to do is we'll hit save. We don't need to save this project ID, it's right there. Now that we've created the project, the next thing we've got to do is go over to our dashboard. So click over here in the top right hand corner to dashboard, and then we're going to go to API keys. We don't have one because we just created the project. So we're going to hit create a new secret key. Now I'm going to hit create secret key. Now we have this key, we'll hit copy it, we'll hit done, and then we'll store that key in a place where we can reference it for later. For right now, we're just going to copy it. I'll change that key later. And then we're going to come here. Now, we're going to create a new connection. We're going to call this breakthrough auto. Then we're going to type in the API key, and then we're going to hit save. This is all we need to actually access our assistant. Now, the problem is we don't have an assistant built. So what we're going to do here is we're going to come into our Breakthrough Automotive and OpenAI, and we're going to create a new assistant. Now this is very similar to creating a custom GPT. It's a little bit different because it's not as user-friendly. You're not going to have the interface that's going to help you build out some of these instructions. So if you need help building out your assistant for the best practices, please let me know. I'm happy to send you resources as we build out more of those resources in our YouTube account. But here, we're going to come in, we're going to call this agents Andy. I like that name, it's a good one. And the instructions here are very important. This is going to be the base operating instructions and really the prompt that we're going to be giving the AI whenever it receives an input. You can think of this as the prompt before the Google review that's going to come through. So we're going to type up a simple instruction set here using our 5 pillars, or actually we'll use 4 of those pillars. And I'll explain that in just a moment. So first is we're going to give it a role or an identity. So you are a marketing professional who specializes in brand engagement and customer relations. That's the first thing. The second thing, and a good thing I have Grammarly here to correct my grammar. The second thing is we're going to explain the context. Your job is to create short, dynamic responses to Google reviews for Breakthrough Automotive. Now, in this instruction set, it would be wise for us to include information about good reviews and bad reviews. So what we're going to do here is we're going to come down, we're going to put 2 hashtags. This will help the AI understand this is important. So 4 good reviews. Now with this, there's a lot of fine tuning we should be doing with this. I'm going to create a simple prompt for today. I will post the final prompt version in the description on the YouTube channel for you to see and go through. Included in the final prompt will be things such as steps to determine if it's a good or bad review, understanding how to respond to a good review, understanding how to respond to a bad review. We're going to give it for good reviews right now to keep it simple, and for testing, you'll see that in just a moment. So for good reviews, please respond with a positive attitude, thanking the customer for their review and providing any comments to build value in the response and offer to be of assistance at any later date or time. Now, another great practice would be for you to go through and actually create a couple sample reviews for the AI to use. And so that would be one of those best practices that we would come in and do. Again, I'll put the final one there. Now, you could update with this with some files for a knowledge base if you want to do that. That would totally work. I'm actually going to put in one small thing. Breakthrough Automotive is a car repair company that strives to be highly transparent, operating under a serve first mentality. Now what I could do here is I could take their web copy and actually sorry, fixing my typos here. We are doing this live, so this is really the process that we go through. And so this is it. Coming on down here, we have our temperature. I'm going to decrease this. Temperature is kind of the way to think of it is the amount of creativity that the AI agent is able to express and get unique, specific feedback. This is good enough for us today. We're going to create. And that's it. So Andy exists over here. Oh, sorry, that created a new one. Andy exists over here. We can see this. We can come in. We can update it. We can also choose the new model if we want to. The new 4 Mini is incredibly effective, and actually we're going to use that because it's very cost prohibitive. It's actually cheaper than 3.5 and better. It's kind of like a 4.0 Lite, and so you can kind of see the different models and their different benefits. This one is a lightweight task and it's incredibly affordable, so that's what we're going to use here. Next, we're going to go back to active pieces. We're going to refresh this assistance options. It's going to find Andy for us, and then we're going to ask it a question. This is the actual prompt that you're going to be writing. So please evaluate the review to determine if it is good or bad. If based on the results of your evaluation, create a response for the user to be displayed publicly on the Google business page. That's the prompt. Now, anything you want the AI to really remember, you could also add into the prompt here. Ensure that the response is short, fun, and punchy for positive reviews, or that it is empathetic for negative reviews. Now, if we want to get really advanced here, we could do a couple really interesting things. One, we could actually build a condition. We can build what I would call an intermediary agent. That's sole job is to determine if it was a positive or negative review, and then we can actually filter it out. And maybe we'll do that someday so that the agent doesn't respond to a negative review. We have a person who does that. For today, though, we're going to build in that review step into our process here so that we can actually see the reviews that are there and make sure that whoever's responding to it can go in and edit it. So first up, we're going to actually test this step. Sorry, one more thing. We need to put the review in here. Here is the review. And we're also going to add in here's the customer name. Okay. Okay, so we have our variables here. We can see we have reviewer information and their display name. Okay, so now it's going to populate that viewer information right here. And then the review, we need the comments, and that's going to be here. So we're going to test this step. It's going to send over the response. This is our sample data. I'll make this a little bigger for us. Okay, give that a second. Now, when you're reading this, and keep in mind, active pieces is a little bit more developer friendly than user friendly. If you wanted to have a user friendly experience, you could do this with Zapier. You could do this with Make. It would look very, very similar in both platforms. And so here, we're going to have some fine tuning to do, but value response. Hi, Myrna. Thank you so much for your glowing review. We're thrilled to hear about your positive experience with Andy Honesty and transparency are at the heart of what we do. It's fantastic to know that we can earn your trust. We're here for all your other news, so don't hesitate to reach out anytime. Welcome to the Breakthrough family. That's a really great review. I don't like the emojis, and I want to make sure that this response is here. So we're going to come back to our prompt, and we're going to fine tune this. So here we're going to add in just these rules. So we're going to say rules. I'm going to come in and put a hashtag there. That's going to be our heading. 1, do not use any emojis. Okay. 2, this is going directly on the Google review page, Google Business review page. Please format it as such. Okay. So now that we've done that, we're going to come on up here. We're going to let that kind of sync. It won't let us do this until it's completely saved. And then once it clears, we're going to be able to say retest. Now, while that's syncing, I'm going to explain a couple of the things that are here we're not using. Memory key is only if you're going to be using automations that require going back and forth with the AI. This isn't what we're doing. We're having a singular response that creates a singular output, and that output is going to go to Google reviews. And so here we can come through. Thank you, Myrna. You can see this formatting. Remember, this value right here is going directly onto the Google page. So we don't want those quotes. We don't want those formatting pieces. We want a very simple plain text. Bam. Another really good response. I'm really glad that we did that. So this looks really good. We're ready to go. So here, the next step, and this is an option for you depending on your preferences. If you don't quite trust AI, that's okay. The next step is I'm going to have this post directly to Google. So I'm going to come in and do Google Business again. Okay. We're going to create or update a reply. The connection is going to be Breakthrough Auto. Our review name, okay. Now the review name is required, and you can do it. So here, it's important that you grab the same variable it's asking for. This is going to make sure that that goes to the correct spot. Then we're going to come down to our comments. We're going to link in that response. Now, Active Pieces does this a little bit wonky in my opinion, but you have to go down into the Ask Assistant, go down into the content, click into content again, go down to text, and then you'll find the value, okay? Don't worry about the quotes. That's going to be one of the pieces that's there, and then we can test the step. Now, before I do that, I just want to make sure that Myrna's review has not already been responded to. So we're going to come on down. I think here we have not had a response to Myrna's review. Perfect. So we're going to be able to test this. It will post that review directly onto the Google page. So let's see what happens. Okay. So now, thank you, Myrna. Thank you for a wonderful review. We're thrilled to hear that Andy was able to provide you with honest and transparent service for your Honda Civic. It's our goal to ensure that your customers feel confident in their repairs. We're glad you felt that we appreciate your loyalty and look forward to assisting you with future automotive needs. Safe travels. Coming on here, if we refresh this page, oopsies, yep, that's the right button. Come on down, and we can see here, response from the owner. Thank you. We're thrilled that Andy was able to provide you with honest and transparent service for your Honda Civic. It's our goal. Bam. If we look at this, this is an amazing start to it. If I wanted to, as the owner, okay, I can come in, since I do have administrative privileges, I can go in and edit that response. But for today, this is good. And we're able to go. Now, the next step that I want to do is while AI is really great, I don't necessarily want to make sure, I don't want it to just have free reign over everything. I want to make sure that we really capitalize on this and our team is on the same page with what's going on. And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to do a Gmail step. And here we're going to just email, we're going to send an email, and this is going to go to the owner of the business and myself. And so we're going to say, it's going to go to Chad at Kairos Talks. I'll add his emails later, okay? And then we're going to go to the subject line, new Google review for Breakthrough Automotive, okay? Oops, that was a typo. Okay, Breakthrough Auto. plain text. You can do, if you want to, some HTML. What I'm going to just do is super simple. Hey team, there is a new review on Google. Here is the info. Okay. And this will come in. We'll say who left the review, right? So we'll just grab this URL here. So we'll say name, review. We don't need the date because that should be automatic. Let's see. We have our comments. And if you want to, you could include other details. Like I said, we could do, the rating, that's a good. Stars out of 5. Okay, so we got that right there. Here is the AI generated response that was posted. Okay. All right, we'll come down here. We'll do this Ask Assistant. We'll come down again, same thing. We're just going to go to the content, and the text. And again, as you work in different platforms, this will look a little bit different. And that's just going to be something you have to kind of find your preference for. And then what I'm going to do, I recommend, let's see if this will make it. Oh, yes. If you'd like to see the review or edit the response, you can use this link. Now remember, this is plain text, so we don't necessarily want to just kind of send, we don't want to make this a, try and hyperlink text. That won't send very well. And so we can come here, grab this, or whatever URL you want to from that, any share link you have. And that's not pretty, but it's there. And then we're just going to test it. So we're going to test this. We're going to make sure that we got that email. And then we're going to do one last systems check. And then I'm going to talk about a couple customizations you can make to this, like I said, to just make sure that we're good to go. So we can see it's status 200. It's in green. That means we did get that email. And if I look at my phone, perfect. I can see here, you can see here, here's my email, the same one that we just created that has all that information. Again, you can make this prettier if you want to, but that is available for anyone to use. So I'm going to go add in some other details a little while later. Now for this, a couple things, and the reason I'm sharing this is because it doesn't really matter what business you're in, you can use this. I'm talking auto shops to coaching businesses to dental practices. Everyone can use this automation. With dental practices or any medical practices, you do have to be considerate of HIPAA, and that's going to be how you factor in the assistant programming or the prompting. But when we look at this, the first thing we can customize is the actual prompt itself. And so here, I created a very simple prompt. It's not very complicated. And here we can do a couple things. One is we can provide a set of examples that it can use as responses that it's seen previously. These multi-shot prompting is what this is called, is incredibly effective at making sure this works. And again, I'll include the final actual programming for Andy the assistant for us to see some of that multi-shot, which I'll build into every single instruction that's there. Then the other thing is you can add in other rules. For example, if you've got a HIPAA compliant component to it, then you can say, hey, do not mention, under no circumstances, mention the patient's information. Do not respond to the person who's reviewing. Do not mention the procedures they provided. Thank them for their review. Let them know that if they have any dental needs in the future, that you're here. And here are example responses that you can pull from to create yours. In those examples, again, we talked about this a little earlier, we want to turn down that temperature down to 0.1 because we don't want it getting creative, because creativity could compromise us if we have HIPAA compliance. Maybe you're one of these folks who really doesn't want AI posting directly anywhere, and that's completely respectable and completely makes a lot of sense. And so here, we're going to reverse these steps, and we're going to take out this create or update reply. We're going to have AI send us the review, whether it be an email or text with one of these steps, and it's going to, hey, you have it in a review, here's your suggested response to post it. You get a reminder, you get a link, and now you've got copy paste it, you can log on your phone and post the review. When we look at this, this becomes a really viable solution for our building out our business. Again, there are more advanced things you can do. In fact, one of the things I would probably recommend is right here, we're going to actually add in a delay, okay? And so for this delay, this allows it so that we don't immediately post that review. People understand that AI is a thing. Most folks are not upset by the fact that companies are using AI, especially for smaller tasks like this, but it is something that we don't necessarily want to come off as. So we're going to actually add a delay in. Let's say that we add in number of units to delay. We're going to say, oh, this is in seconds. Let's change this to minutes, and let's wait 7 minutes. It's a random number, and that goes. So we don't need to test this step because it just waits for 7 minutes. And so here, now we've got this great review. Last step, and you can do this earlier in the process, is you can click up here and you can type in, I like to do shorthand, breakthrough automotive. You don't need that. Google review responder. Okay, and that's it. All we gotta do is hit publish, and that is now live and ready to go. So we're gonna hit publish. It's publishing. It is now ready to go. It is now live. And so if we were to go back out, we could do that. Now we're gonna test this one last time. I do want to show you one thing before we test it, and that's going to be your usage. And this is going to be in your OpenAI platform. You can see here that, and this is why we're using this model, to run that singular test, it actually doesn't cost me anything yet, and that's because of its thousandths of a cent. This would probably, unless you were doing 30, 40 reviews a month, I don't know that this would cost you very much, a couple cents a month perhaps, but just keep an eye on this. If you had like an AI go hack and leave a ton of reviews or something, that could cost you, but it would be, you can set these different limits and things like that. That's here. It is very cost friendly, especially with the newer release of that 4 mini. So let's go back here. We're going to test this out. I'm logged into a different Google account, and Andy actually has done work for me recently. It's one of the reasons that I wanted to do this for him. He is a client, but I'm a client of him. 5 stars. Short backstory. I drove down to his area because that's where I'm from, and my car literally got a flat tire on the way there. He was fixing the flat and realized that my radiator hose was broken, and so he offered to fix that and help me out with that. And so let's write about that experience. All right, we're gonna hit post, and I could add some photos. Maybe I'll go in and do it later. We're gonna hit post, and we're gonna actually see if this review runs. And this is one of my things I like about active pieces, is that, and really anything we can do, again, make, Zapier, active pieces, they all kind of do the same thing. Your preference on what you want to do. Active pieces is one of the newer kids on the block. They are developing right now. They are not as well established, but they're gonna be more cost friendly compared to a Zapier. In the middle, you're gonna have Make. Make has got more development than active pieces, but it should be slightly more expensive than active pieces, so it just kind of depends on where you want to go. Simple automation for us. We're going to come in here, we're going to refresh. Some of these runs happen on like a 5-minute delay. Now with that, we did also see that we added that delay, which we probably need to take off. So, see. I am going to take that delay off for now so we can test this out. See if we can catch it before this run hits. Perfect. Okay. Now this is something to note in some of our pieces, is that this will run every 5 minutes. This is one of the limitations of active pieces. Not my favorite piece of it, but something that is worth considering. So when we come back into this, and we will have to crop this video a little bit, this will run up to every 5 minutes. And in just a moment, we're going to be able to see that this actually does take our review and does all this stuff. We're going to make sure that we get that response. We're going to get that email. We're going to just run this in a live, real instance with my review, and then we're going to add in that timer for 7 minutes, and we'll just let it go. And from now on, that will actually all run and be used by Andy's business for those reviews. So let's wait just 10 more seconds, and then we'll be able to look at this run and actually run through the history of its actual flow. Alrighty, so now that we've built this, we removed that delay step so that we can see this instant results. We're going to click on the runs button, and we're going to see this takes place here. And so now let's review the information. Again, this is my name, this is the 5-star rating, this is my comment, okay? So it's all the stuff that you saw me enter a few moments ago. Then we can see the Ask Assistant. I'm going to make this bigger so that we can, okay. Ask Assistant, so prompt, please evaluate the review to determine if it's good or bad. Based on the results of your evaluation, create a response to the user, display publicly, ensure that the response is short, all the stuff that we went through earlier. Then we're going to come down here, look at the output. Thank you, Chad Wooters, for your fantastic review. We're thrilled to hear that Andy's thoroughness saved your RAV4 and that you trust us with your vehicle. Our team's dedicated to providing excellent service, and we can't wait to assist you again whenever you're in town. Drive safe. See you next time. Bam. Then it's going to create that reply. So if we come over here, we can see if we close out of this, view all Google reviews. Thank you for your chat. Thank you for whatever. This took a 2-minute delay. Then we're going to see, last step is if it sent us this email address or this email. Okay, boom, boom. Bam. All right, here it is. And everything is ready to go. So we can see the email, it's ready to go. And remember, you can customize this to come through. You can see how long this all took. You can see all the steps that it took for this, for billing. These are 4 active pieces is how they bill it. And then here, if you want to come in, you can actually go into usage, and you can see again, we're still at less than 1 cent for our usage. And so again, you have to preload your account with $10. It'll probably take you a very long time to actually use that much. And that's how we build this automation. I'm going to come back in here. We're going to X out of this. We're going to X out of that. We're going to come back. We're going to edit, and we're going to go back in and actually add in this delay step that's here. Okay, we're going to delay 4 minutes 7, and we're going to hit publish. Okay, we don't need to test it. This is an internal function, so there's no chance that it breaks. If anything does break with this, it will let you know. And remember, you do sometimes have to wait up to 5 minutes for active pieces to run through that for some of these automations that don't work with webhooks to kind of create this. This simple 5-step automation can literally save your team, depending on your volume, just a few minutes every day, a few minutes every week. And most importantly, it's not about saving time, it's about making sure that they get a response. Because as we looked at earlier with that study, people want to work with businesses who are actively engaging with their customers. So make sure you're actively engaging with your customers. If you need help or you want help building an automation like this, please reach out to us at the team. We're happy to help you build something like this. Or you can see everything that's here. I will put the finalized prompt and instructions for the custom AI assistant in the description of the video, or you can message us to receive a copy yourself as well. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or you have other automations that you want to see built, please let us know in the comments below. Have a great day.